Hi, we're reading the story. What page? We're starting on chapter 11, which is page 145. Starting a new chapter here. We just finished talking about Saul. This is called From Shepherd to King. So who do you think we're moving on to?
David.
David, yes.
Woo.
Okay.
No.
Okay. The Lord said to Samuel, "How long will you mourn for Saul, since I have rejected him as king over Israel? Fill your horn with oil and be on your way. I am sending you to Jesse of Bethlehem. I have chosen one of his sons to be king." So I like that because it's like he's been looking at hearts, you know?
Yeah.
Kind of like he's been looking at the hearts of men to see who he will choose. Samuel did what the Lord said. When he arrived at Bethlehem, the elders of the town trembled when they met him. They asked, "Do you come in peace?" Meaning they can tell he's come with power. They're like, "Are you coming in peace, good sir?"
It must be nice to feel.
Samuel replied, "Yes, in peace. I have come to sacrifice to the Lord. Consecrate yourselves." What does it mean to consecrate?
I know it, but I can't really describe it.
It is to set yourself apart, to prepare yourself to be used by the Lord. If you have something that stands in between you and the Lord, remove it. And come to sacrifice with me. Like if you have unforgiveness in your heart, you need to deal with that. Then he consecrated Jesse and his sons and invited them to the sacrifice. When they arrived, Samuel saw Eliab and thought, "Surely the Lord's anointed stands here before the Lord," because Eliab was very tall and handsome. But the Lord, and that in their minds, they're like, well, this is clearly a king. Tall and handsome, definitely a king. But the Lord said to Samuel, "Do not consider his appearance or his height, for I have rejected him." The Lord does not look at the things that people look at. People look at the outward appearance, but the Lord looks at the heart. And I think that really speaks to our country, really our world. We're so caught up looking at people's appearance and trying to do things based on what we look like, rather than using the wisdom of the Lord to love people heart to heart, to engage people with their heart, and to allow the Lord. Remember, only the Lord can judge the heart. So you have to listen to the Lord's wisdom when you come into contact with someone. You have to listen to the Lord's wisdom, because even you can see here, Samuel didn't even know. He has to listen to the Lord's wisdom about who he's picked, because he can't even see the heart, even as the Lord's prophet. Jesse called Abinadab and had him pass in front of Samuel. But Samuel said, "The Lord has not chosen this one either." So Jesse had Shammah pass by, but Samuel said, "Nor has the Lord chosen this one." Jesse had 7 of his sons pass before Samuel, but Samuel said to him, "The Lord has not chosen these." So he asked Jesse, "Are these all the sons you have?" I always think that Jesse had 7 sons, but he didn't have 7 sons. He had 8. 8 is the number for what?
New beginning.
New beginning. New beginning.
And I'm 8.
You're 8, that's right.
And it is a new beginning. Is this a new king?
Yeah, it's a new king to be anointed. New beginning. "There is still the youngest," Jesse answered. "He's tending the sheep." Samuel said, "Send for him. We will not sit down until he arrives." It went quickly to go get him. No sitting.
You're like, "Yes, sir."
So he sent for him and had him brought in. He was glowing with health and had a fine appearance and handsome features. Then the Lord said, "Rise and anoint him. This is the one." So Samuel took the horn of oil and anointed him in the presence of his brothers, and from that day on the Spirit of the Lord came powerfully upon David. Now the Philistines gathered their forces for war and assembled at Soko in Judah. All right, let me just read. It has a little lineage here of David. Let's see. Jesse, the father of David. Obed, the father of Jesse. Boaz, the father of Obed. Who is Boaz, the husband of?
No, not Rachel. He was the grandson.
Ruth. Yes, Boaz was the husband of Ruth. Salmon, or salmon as we say it in the South, the father of Boaz. Nahshon, the father of Salmon. Aminadab, the father of Nahshon. Ram, the father of Aminadab. Hezron, the father of Ram. Perez, the father of Hezron. Who is Perez? Do you remember?
No.
He is the twin born to Tamar. Tamar is the one who was, let me say this gently, hurt and mistreated by Judah. And she was forced into motherhood, we'll say that. And Judah did not ask her. And she had twins, and I forgot the other guy's name. Sorry. Perez and somebody. Let's see. So they pitched a camp. So now the Philistines are gathering to go to war. It says they pitched a camp. I'm wondering if that means the Philistines, because it doesn't say. At Ephes Dammim, between Soka and Azekah, Saul and the Israelites assembled and camped in the valley of Elah, and drew up their battle line to meet the Philistines. The Philistines occupied one hill, the Israelites were on the other, and there was a valley between them. There was a champion, and his name was Goliath. He was from Gath. He came out of the Philistine camp. His height was 6 cubits and a span. It doesn't have a note here how tall that is, but do you remember about how tall?
9 feet.
It's about 9 feet. That's really tall. He had a bronze helmet on his head and wore a coat of scale armor of bronze weighing 5,000 shekels. I don't know how much a shekel is, but 5,000 of them has got to be heavy. On his legs, he wore bronze greaves, and a bronze javelin was slung across his back. His spear shaft was like a weaver's rod, and its iron point weighed 600 shekels, just the iron point. And he's got that slung across his back.
It would probably tear somebody apart.
His shield bearer went ahead of him. Goliath stood and shouted to the ranks of Israel, "Why do you come out and line up for battle? Am I not a Philistine, and are you not the servants of Saul? Choose a man and have him come down to me. If he is able to fight and defeat me, then we will become your servants. But if I overcome him, then you will become our servants." And the Philistines said, "This day I defy the armies of Israel. Give me a man and let us fight each other." On hearing the Philistines' words, Saul and all the Israelites were dismayed and terrified. So we're on page 147. We're going to end it there. Yeah.
This is my favorite story.
This is your favorite story, but the next section is kind of long, so I don't want to get into it quite yet. All right, so we're going to stop there. Just trying to see if there was anything else that we needed to mention here other than Goliath is huge. All Israel is trembling. I think that's it. Goodbye.
Bye.